Hello my dear students, once again welcome to your online class. Today we will be dealing with the 7th chapter of your chemistry textbook, that is the study of gas law. We have been studying about gas since the junior classes, and here in this part we will be going into a little bit deeper into the gases. We have already learned that the gases, they are highly compressible. We have also learned that the volume of the gases, they usually expand on heating. We have also learned that the molecular motion increases with the rise in temperature. So all this we have already studied in class 8 as well. Okay, so today we will be discussing about few of the parameters that can completely describe the state of a gas. Now coming to this word parameter, what does the parameter means? The parameters are the physical quantities that can completely describe the state of a given gas. So in chemistry, the three parameters that can describe the gases are the temperature, the volume and the pressure. Okay, so these three are the parameter that can describe a given gas. So therefore, whenever you talk about the gas, you must mention a 1 liter of gas at 10 degrees centigrade and 1 atmosphere. So all of these are very necessary because the same gas, the volume of the gas may vary when the temperature changes. So therefore, it's very necessary to mention all these three parameters when we want to describe any gas. So now so there exists a relation between the temperature and a volume, the volume and a pressure, and the temperature, volume and pressure, all of them together also. So each of them has a definite relationship between one another, which is classified as the three laws in this chapter. The first one being the Boyle's law, then the Charles law and the gas equation. So let us begin with the Boyle's law. So what is a Boyle's law? So the Boyle's, he observed that with the increase in the pressure, the volume of the gas decreases. Okay, so let us consider a case. Okay, a cylinder that contains a gas, okay, which is fitted with a piston. Okay, suppose at a pressure P1. Okay, so when the pressure was P1, let the volume of the gas be V1. Okay, corresponding to P1, the pressure is V1. Okay, so now what happens when you compress the gas now? Okay, so when you increase the pressure, the volume of the gas decreases now. Okay, so it decreases. So now the pressure, when the pressure is P2, then the volume may be now V2. Okay, so when the pressure is P2, the volume changes to V2. So now it's very clear that with the increase in the pressure, the volume of the gas decreases. Okay, so therefore I can write that the volume of the gas, that is V1, is inversely proportional to 1 by P1. Okay, so I can also write that P1 into V1 is directly proportional to K. What is K now? The K is a constant. Now similarly for the second case, I can also write that P2 into V2 is also directly proportional to K, again where K is a constant. Now when comparing these two equations, since on the right hand side I have K, the constant, which are equal, so therefore the left hand side also must be equal. So therefore I can write P1 into V1 is equals to P2 into V2, which is the mathematical expression of the Boyle's law. So Boyle's law gives us the relationship between the pressure and the volume of a gas. Now coming to the second equation, that is the Charles law. Okay, so it was found that, okay, for the fixed mass of gas, provided the pressure remaining the constant, with per degree rise in temperature, the volume of the gas increases by 1 divided by 273 times the original volume of the gas. Okay, so that is, suppose if V0 is the volume at a given temperature. Okay, so the V0. So now with the T degree rise in temperature, so what happens? So the volume of the gas, what happens? It increases by, that means the V0 plus, so how many times? It is 1 divided by 273 times the original volume. So therefore I can write that V is equals to, now if I take V common, sorry, it is T, because for the T degrees I rise in temperature. So if it was only for 1 degree, I would have written there 1. So taking V common, I get 1 plus T divided by 273. Or I can also write V is equals to V0, okay, 273 divided by 273. 273 plus T. Okay, so this is how the gas expands when there is a rise in temperature. Okay, so this expression tells us that what would be the volume of a given gas when there is a T degree rise in the temperature. Now, if you want to find the mathematical expression of the Charles law, so we consider the same thing. So, for a fixed mass of gas, provided the pressure remaining the constant, suppose when the temperature was T1, the volume of the gas is V1. Now, when the temperature is increased to T2, let the volume of the gas be V2, and we know that the volume of the gas is directly proportional to the temperature. Okay, the higher is the temperature, the greater will be the volume. So therefore, I have V1 is directly proportional to T1, or this I can write V1 divided by T1 is directly proportional to K. Let this be equation 1. Similarly, I can write V2 divided by T2 is also directly proportional to K. So comparing these two equations, I can write finally V1 divided by T1 is equals to V2 divided by T2, which is the mathematical form of the Charles law. Okay, so now you have understood the relation between the pressure and a volume, which is a Boyle's law, and the relationship between the volume and the temperature, which is the Charles law. Now when we combine both of these two laws, the equation that we obtain is known as the gas equation, which is usually given by P1 into V1 divided by T1 will be equals to P2 into V2 divided by T2. Okay, so this equation represents the gas equation. Okay, so you need to remember all of these so that you will be able to solve some of the simple numerical problems based on the Boyle's law, Charles law, and the gas equation. Now coming to the another topic, the absolute zero. So what is the absolute zero? Now from the Charles law, we see that when we reduce the temperature of a gas, because we know that with the increase in the temperature, the volume of the gas also increases. So the reverse is also possible. That means when we cool down, when we go on decreasing the temperature, the volume of the gas decreases. Okay, so how it decreases? Now according to this Charles law. Okay, so I'll write here now absolute zero. So now when I reduced the temperature to minus, now when 273, that means when T I take it as minus 273 degree centigrade. So substituting that value here, so I get V will be equals to V naught times 273 minus 273 divided by 273. So the numerator here gives me 0. So 0 divided by any number gives me 0, and 0 into V naught again gives me 0. So therefore the volume of the gas becomes 0. Though it is practically it is not possible, but still theoretically it is possible to have the volume of the gas to be 0. That means the gas no longer exists. So that temperature at which the volume of gas ceases to exist is known as a absolute zero, and that temperature is, so the absolute zero, so the value of absolute zero is minus 273 degree centigrade. Okay, so this is what is meant by the absolute zero, and in Kelvin scale this absolute zero is considered to be a 0 Kelvin. Okay, so the absolute zero, the value is 0 in terms of Kelvin and minus 273 degree centigrade in terms of Celsius scale. So from here itself we can obtain the relationship between the degree centigrade and the Kelvin. So whenever we want to obtain the degree centigrade into Kelvin scale, what do? We just have to add 273. That means the Kelvin will be equals to degree centigrade plus 273 degree centigrade. Okay, so here, like for example, if you want to obtain minus 273 degree centigrade in terms of Kelvin, what do? I simply substitute the value here. So therefore in terms of Kelvin it will be minus 273 plus 273, okay, which will give me 0 Kelvin. Okay, so this is how we obtain the relationship between a degree centigrade and a Kelvin. So that is what we had to do in the 6th point mentioned in the board. Now another relationship we need to find is between a degree centigrade and a Fahrenheit. So which you have learned in your lower classes as well. How do we obtain it? We obtain it from the upper fixed point and the lower fixed point. Okay, so the formula to know the relationship between the degree centigrade and Fahrenheit is, it is C by 5 is equals to F minus 32 divided by 9. Okay, so this is how we convert the degree centigrade into the Fahrenheit, and using this we convert the Kelvin into degree centigrade. Now finally the last topic is STP. So the STP stands for the standard temperature and pressure. Since on this planet or on this earth the temperature and pressure is not same throughout this earth, it may vary from place to place. Even in Hamiltonganj and in Jaigaon, the pressure and temperature may be different. So that's why a standard pressure and temperature is taken into consideration when we talk about the gases. And sometimes in some book it also may be mentioned as NTP, which means it is the normal temperature and pressure. So the normal temperature is taken to be 0 degree centigrade. Okay, 0 degree centigrade, which in terms of Kelvin is 273 Kelvin. And the standard pressure is taken to be 1 atmosphere. Okay, which in terms of the mercuric barometer is 76 centimeter of mercury, or it is also equals to 760 mm of mercury. Okay, so this is all that is included in this chapter. Now we will be solving a numerical based on a Boyle's law, Charles law, and I'll take a question from your textbook, page number 116, question number 1, which is based on the Boyle's law. So here the question says that the volume of a certain amount of gas at 25 degrees centigrade and 100 centimeter mercuric pressure is 80 milliliter. The gas is expanded to 160 milliliter, keeping the temperature constant. Calculate the pressure of the expanded gas. So in order to solve this numerical, first we write down all the data given in the question. Okay, so this is question number 1. So what is given? The temperature. Temperature is equals to 25 degree centigrade. And another thing given is the pressure. So the pressure, initial pressure P1 is equals to 100 centimeter of mercury. Okay, and then the next thing given is the gas is expanded to 160 milliliter. So the new volume is equals to 160 ml. Then what is asked to find? Keeping the temperature constant, calculate the pressure of the expanded gas. That means you have to calculate P2 equals to question mark. Okay. So now initially it's also given, the initial volume given here is V1 is equals to how much? It's 80 ml. Okay, so how do we solve? So we see that it's related to P and V. So this is a Boyle's law. Now we write that since we know that P1 into V1 is equals to P2 into V2. So what do we do? We simply substitute the value. So the P1 given here is 100 into the V1 is 80 is equals to P2. We don't know the P2 into the volume, it is 160. So 81 is 80 and 82 is 60. So therefore I can write P2 will be equals to 100 divided by 2, which will give me 50. So therefore the new pressure will be equals to 50. Now what will be the unit? Whatever was the previously unit, that is it is 50 centimeter of mercury. Okay, so this is how we solve a numerical based on the Boyle's law. So now we will be solving one more problem based on the Charles law. So turn the page to 119 and you will see some of the numerical based on the Charles law. So I will be solving question number 2. Okay, so on a Charles law. So here the question tells us 20 milliliter of hydrogen gas at 15 degrees centigrade is heated to 35 degrees centigrade at a constant pressure. Find the new volume of the hydrogen. So first write down the data is given. So it is initially, so the volume V1 is given, it is 20 milliliter of hydrogen. And the temperature is T1 is equals to 15 degree centigrade. Now the next thing given is the second temperature. It is heated to 35 degree centigrade. Now again given that T2 is equals to 35 degree centigrade. And what you are asked to find? You are asked to find the new volume V2. So here we see that the quantities involved are the volume and the temperature. So whenever we see the volume and the temperature, it always relates to the Charles law. Now we know that in Charles law it is V1 divided by T1 is equals to V2 divided by T2. Okay, so this will give me, now so simply substitute the value, it is 20 divided by the initial temperature is 15 will be equals to the volume we don't know divided by the temperature is 35. So when we solve, we do it like V2 is equals to 20 into 35 divided by 15. Now very simply you simplify this, how 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20. Okay, so finally I get V2 will be equals to, now nothing can be cancelled, so 4 5s are 20, 0, 2 goes there, 4 3s are 12, 13 and 14. So it is 140 divided by 3. So this is how we solve the numerical based on Boyle's law and the Charles law. And it is not necessary for you to solve the question related to the gas equation. Okay. So I'll send you a few more solved examples by link. So please try to see those numerical problems, how they are solved, and try to solve the most of the numericals related to the Boyle's law and Charles law for your examination. And if you have any doubt, you are always free to ask me in my WhatsApp number. So in the next video, we'll be starting with a new chapter and then we'll be continuing with your syllabus. Thank you.